What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back into Breaking Boards. Let's get settled in and settled down and get ready for some best ball drafts on DraftKings. Got my guy Adam here with me. Going to hop into the $25 over on DK. Michael will be joining us later on in the show as well. We'll knock out probably 1, 2, maybe 3 drafts depending on the weather. If it lets us hold true, we do have a large storm coming in our area around 7:30. So we'll just play it out, see how it goes. Adam, how's it going? We're starting off the show.
I think my internet is struggling over here, but I'm doing well, Randy. How are you?
All right. Yeah, I'm good. Let me know when you're ready to hop in the 25. I'll do our temporary countdown thing, and then we'll get in this thing and get it going. I'm going to assume that you are ready. I'm going to go ahead and do the countdown. 3, 2, 1, 0. Hopefully you are hearing me. To get into this first draft, 3 of 12. If anybody wants to join us over on DraftKings, Rich is hanging out with us. Red bearded furry badger power in the house. Now, if that power could just power your internet, we'd be a good shape.
Absolutely.
Let's see what's going on. 6 of 12. If anybody wants to join in. Probably going to do, like I said, probably 1 or 2. We'll see if we get 3 in. We do have a nasty storm rolling in, so we'll see how things are around 7 p.m. Been watching the radar. Doesn't look like it's getting any smaller, so unfortunately I think we're going to be stuck out in the rain for a minute.
Red bearded furry badger power is here, but choppy at the moment. So
yeah, you're a few seconds tape delay. It's almost like watching a poker tournament. One dude's live and the other dude's on a 10-second delay, and we'll play it out. If it gets too bad, I'm going to kick you, but we'll see how it goes.
No, I get
Hope
it.
Hope everybody's having a good week so far, and hope everybody's having a good week so far. I know it's kind of early in the week, but almost to Friday. If you're a Monday through Friday guy like I am. Let's see where we're at now. We are at 11 to 12. We just filled up. Got let's see, anybody that I recognize in the draft. Obviously, you're at the 6. I'm at the 8, which I never really get the 8. We got a spike week guy in the 1 spot. Feels like I've drafted with this person once or twice as well. But don't recognize any of the other names in this one. Used up all my tickets and cash in slows. As camps open for now, we'll reload on August the 3rd and do some more with us. Yeah, I mean, that'll be we'll definitely still be doing drafts by then. Probably going to switch over from doing the What If show and the Man vs. Sim show. We'll probably start looking at like ESPN ADPs and starting to dive into yearly drafts and redraft leagues and that kind of stuff as well. But we're going to continue to do the on the board live drafts all the way up until we'll probably stop week 4 or week 3 of preseason so that I can get ready for the opening day Wednesday game this year. Get ready for that showdown slate and get out some information, do some live streams for that. But we'll definitely be drafting still in early August, that's for sure. Adam, are you any more unfrozen than you were 10 seconds ago?
It's weird because my clock and your clock are the same.
Clock, yes. Answering time, probably not. You're probably 3 seconds delayed.
Still not.
And choppy when you're speaking. So I don't know if that's normal you or just internet you or what we're at currently. But we have started. Jahmyr Gibbs goes off the board at the 1-1. Again, Michael's going to be joining us in just a bit.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, that was very delayed. I'm not sure what question you're answering from 15 minutes ago. So Like I said, if it stays bad, I'm just going to kick you because it's going to make us pretty embarrassing here for the live viewers. But I'll do most of the talking, and you just get in where you fit in.
Absolutely. The great thing is it's live, so kicking is fine. And then if I can come back in with a clearer picture, then maybe, or not even picture. I guess my picture is fine. It's my voice is not great.
Well, your voice has always been not great. You are on the clock. I'm not sure if you're aware of that at the 1-6.
I see that.
JSN is a guy that I have moved down just slightly in my ranks, and I am taking the guy that I'm about to take over him currently. I moved up Amon-Ra St. Brown to the 1-6. I moved JSN down to the 1-7. Moved CMC down to the, I believe it's the 9 or 10 on DK. And I actually slid Jonathan Taylor all the way to the 12 in my most updated ranks, which I need to upload on the site. Again, they will be free for the rest of 2026 best ball season. And then next year we'll look to add some things and then hopefully get the store back open here soon. I have been in talks with a third-party company today that looks very promising. It's just going to take some work on the back end for me to code everything and get everything up to snuff. I don't want to open things up and it be a mess. So I want to ensure that we're good to go for DFS season. But for you guys, everything will be free until we get up to the season. So I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully somebody checked out the ranks. I know we had a few people logging onto the site the other day. So if you guys have any suggestions or information you want or stats you want me to include, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you want on there, and I'll start working on getting out what you guys are looking for before you head into your drafts. Let's see. I'm up next here, and then we're going to work on bringing in Michael into the fold here and hopefully get someone else talking since Adam is somewhat frozen. So we go with Amon-Ra round 1. We're going to go A.J.
That's
Brown.
not
I
on
don't like
delay.
doing that start. Like watching a movie where you're trying to warn the future about a terrible demise and the connection breaks up. The call's coming from inside the house.
Yes, indeed.
Let me do some little minor editing here. And no, I'm not talking about cutting you out of the screen, but why is your head so damn big? What's going on, Michael? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hopefully you can kill some of the lag time. I'm asking Adam some questions, and he's getting back to me in about 3 to 5 business days. Hopefully you're not lagging on that same token.
No, Adam, if you'll just start moving your mouth, I'll talk for you. He says we'll just dub you live. So let's see. What do we start here? You went on Ron, AJ Brown, and you went JSN and A-Chain. Solid start.
Yeah, nothing too crazy so far. I was talking a minute ago. I have moved some stuff around in my ranks. I moved JSN below Amon-Ra. I moved Taylor to the 12. I moved George Pickens out of round 2. I moved Bowers way up. It's about what I've done the last 24 hours or so. I think anybody who's watched the show knows I'm below on CMC. Moved Cook up a spot, moved Cook into the 15 spot. But everything else is fairly normal.
So you move my boy up a little bit? Almost
one spot. One spot, yeah. Going to have to take some Badger points away with Adam.
You don't have to worry about that. Miami's never going to make it. It's okay. Sorry, I was just dubbing for you.
Rich, I fully understand taking points. Well, Notre Dame, I mean, I can deal with a Notre Dame fan, Rich. It's all good. I understand taking points away. I mean, we have a love-hate relationship, so
don't ride the fence.
Catholics, I understand that.
How's that?
But what I don't understand was earlier in a draft today, just to change the subject, just to change the subject a little bit, earlier in the draft, I saw Devontae Smith taken at 1-7.
Nobody cares about Devontae Smith right now. I want fighting. I assume that the Notre Dame fans were loving you guys, and you guys were hating everybody whenever you referenced the 30 for 30. It didn't seem like those Miami players were a very loving bunch.
Well, I mean, we've never been a very loving bunch, but
yeah, it's never good though when your last 30 for 30 is on players that have already retired from the NFL and gone to the Hall of Fame. It means it's been a while. It's been a long while.
Hey, congratulations. You can talk a little bit. I appreciate that, but it's been a long while. You're right.
Congratulations.
Very orange, yes.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that response. Very condescending. I noticed he wouldn't go at Rich, but Michael, he came straight at you.
I know. We're the only team win back-to-back in the playoff era, so y'all can't even win in the playoff era.
To be fair, though, it is part of the bit. To be fair, you guys have probably had, outside of maybe like SMU in the 80s, you guys have probably led the league in arrests between your two favorite schools.
Hey, I can't help with the Athens PD. Let's get out.
Yeah, but it's been a while for me.
I don't know if it's the Athens PD. It might be the driving at 130, 140 miles an hour that might be the actual culprit.
Dude, their profile, and anybody driving on a sidewalk or through somebody's house, they're just arrested. But at least we're doing something with our arrests. We got 2 natties on this arrest.
Yes, I am Ron Burgundy. I mean, Clemson has 2 natties, and
the biggest predator.
The worst thing I can say about us is Deshaun Watson.
What a fall from grace.
I don't know if he was ever at Grace.
I don't think Grace consented was the problem.
Yeah, that one was a little torn here between Burden and Josh Jacobs. I do think running back falls off a little bit more in the middle round, so I'm going to go Jacobs. That's probably my first love Jacobs build.
This might be your first love. I was about to say, I don't.
Yeah, I don't have much. It's like 3 or 4. I just don't like what do you win when you win at this price? Like, you guys know I don't watch a lot of college. I'll hang out and watch a little bit, but I'm not, keeping up to date with college football at all. More of an NFL guy, but what do you win when you win? Unless they get rid of somebody in free agency or release somebody or whatever the case is, like Jeremiah Love, I assume leads the backfield, but I'm assuming he's running back by committee more than anything else.
I mean, look at Bijan's first year without Jared in the backfield.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the problem. You're taking Love there. Like, you need, 1,500 scrimmage yards, 60 receptions, 10 touchdowns.
Probably 8 to 10 touchdowns, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
But
you don't want to not have him at all.
Like, he's palatable at 32. When he was going like 22, dude, I couldn't get there.
I still see ones where he goes in the second round.
I just,
I
can't get behind that.
I could have Love right there where Randy's got him, but I can't have him up there toward the second round, like Randy said. And like you said,
I assume that.
Although I will, talking about somebody who's falling now and talking about somebody who's a little different. And I'm sorry, Randy, I know I'm delayed. ETN has been falling steadily for last week. That's because, like you said, the Alvin Kamara signing has allowed him to drop down into the round 4 where you can get him right there at 40. So
I think that's his floor on falling, though. I mean, look at all the guys behind him other than Jacobs that you've got in this draft. Like, Scatterboo, I can't trust him not to just destroy his mind at some point. Montgomery.
I prefer to catch the dip on ETN, honestly. What's up, Corey? Hanging out with us. I do like the playoff schedule for Arizona. It's just I don't know who's going to be on the field for Arizona. I assume Love would be one of the guys that would stay healthy. or at least upright that late. But I don't know what we're talking about as far as, they're probably not going to be playing for a playoff spot. So who knows if it's going to be Brissett or Beck or Minshew. So Love is one of the only Cardinals pieces that I'm even remotely interested in. I'm not high on Marvin Harrison. Michael Wilson, for me, is outside the top 100. Not a player that I'm looking to get to a ton there either. So I'm over or under overall on the Cardinals offense altogether. I think that offense has a hard time paying off their price tags for the entire offense. I think the easiest one to pay off their price tag would probably be Beck, depending on if and when he gets onto the field. But there's no guarantee that he's going to start any games this year. I think another sleeper there might be a guy like Kendrick Bourne, who, is basically free at the end of drafts. But I have a hard time with Love, any pick before 32. I didn't love clicking him there. Marvin Harrison, I'm under on. Wilson, I'm under on. McBride, I'm under on. I mean, that entire offense, I think, is just, for all the question marks that we have, there's also quite a bit of mouths to feed there as well. I'll give you two a B so far. Don't mess it up. We're absolutely destined to mess it up the farther we go throughout the draft, for sure. Arizona's first 8 games versus a lot of
definitely.
top defenses will be interesting. You're like 10 minutes delayed. Arizona's first 8 games versus the top.
I'm about to hop out.
You were about to hop out, whether you wanted to hop out or not.
I'll come in. I'll come back in.
It's smooth as the other side of the pillow. Shout out Stuart Scott. Coming back around to me here there, I was going to go Bucky, but since Bucky's gone, we'll go with Drake May. And let's get back to Rich's question now that Captain 15-minute delay is gone.
He'll be back tomorrow.
I hope the return is delayed, honestly. Arizona's first 8 games against top defenses will be interesting. Love there for the playoffs. I don't know how to feel about it late. Like I said, it's one of those offenses that, he's on his rookie contract already, so he's not going to be playing for anything crazy. It could be the type of situation where if they fall so far out, it might be like a hamstring type situation where he just sits out the rest of the year. So I don't hate him. I don't know how to feel about him, honestly. Sharing a backfield with Jadarian will be similar to sharing with Algier. I think so too. I think it'll be probably, if I were a guessing man, I'm thinking probably 55-60% Love. You'll probably see 35% Algier, and then you'll probably see a little bit of Connor if he sticks around, or you'll see some maybe some Trey Benson. If Connor gets released, traded, I would imagine it's probably a 60-40 split versus if it's Benson. If Benson stays, or if he's the one that hangs around, or if Connor hangs around, he'll get 5%. If Benson hangs around, he might not get on the field at all anyways. Adam, do you understand English now?
I've understood English, but unfortunately the 3-second delay has not.
You're slightly better now. And Michael, what were you saying? Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, you're good. I was going to say, I think my concern with Love is where you're drafting him at running back. Like, that's a guy that you need to play, 12 weeks a year out of your DFS team. Like, do you feel good that, like, if you draft Love, you know what I mean? Like, you get a running back that high. That's your first running back, right? Like, you want him to just be a plug and play in your lineup in this and just lock down that spot. Or see a guy that maybe you get 7 or 8 viable games out of, just because he doesn't get as much touches share in the backfield. I think that's my concern. Like you go that early on a running back, you need him to probably fill into your lineup consistently.
I think I like him more on builds when I get a running back in the first round, and then I can pick him up in the third. Like maybe maybe you get Taylor and then Brown and then Love, and then you just start stacking wide receivers. Like I don't mind that kind of build.
Yeah.
Bit of a QB run here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I had to jump into it.
Did you start it? You started, didn't you?
No,
Did you pull show up?
maybe.
Chuck? Oh God, did you really?
No. I know. I got Trevor.
Trevor.
I think since we have Drake May, I'm going to go ahead and go Ramondre. Ramondre actually looked pretty decent as a pass catcher last year. I assume that both those guys keep the role that they had last year. You probably see like 55-45 Trevion, where you saw 55-45 Ramondre last year. I expect some growth from Trevion, but I don't know how much he's going to be able to push Ramondre completely out. Reese and Braylon, Kyron and Corum, Etienne and Kamara. Yeah, I mean, I think that entire range is just kind of you get who you like type of situation. I think if it were to me, I do prefer Brees, Kyron, and Etienne over Love. I know that might not be the popular selection, but we've seen it a little bit from those guys in the past, and I just worry about how this offense is going to fare for Arizona. And there's some tough defenses out west too. If Darnold comes back, plays alongside Myles Garrett, who came over from Cleveland to LA, that Seattle defense is nasty. I just think there's some opportunity there for Love to be able to fall. Been taking some Connor, hoping that he's traded to Detroit once they realize Pacheco is trash, as everyone else knows. I had not gotten to Connor. I just think that there's a lot of optimism around a potential trade, and I just don't know that Detroit's going to need him. It could be a situation where Connor goes to Detroit. I do think he's of the mold there in Detroit, so to speak. Those guys are biting kneecaps and that kind of stuff, and Connor's definitely a tough guy, coming back from cancer a couple of years ago and stuff like that. But I just don't know that they're going to pick up the phone and say, hey, we need a guy like James Conner. Alec Pearson, that injury scares me. There's not a lot I love in this range. I definitely don't like going Michael Wilson, so I think we're just going to default and go to our fourth running back here with Harvey, and then I'll probably tack on a fifth late, and I'll be done at receivers or running back. So we're probably going to go receiver here pretty soon for me.
See, I don't think I hate Alec Pierce because I think you could see him be slow coming into the season, but typically based off where he's going, I mean, what is this, the 8th round? He's probably your 4th wide receiver at least coming off the board. So I just like his upside. I mean, he's pretty solid in that offense with Danny Dimes.
It's just I don't like setting myself up for situations that already have a lot of question marks. So Pierce's injury, it's probably going to take away some of his top end speed. Jones' injuries hurting his ability to plant and throw and get the ball downfield. I saw a report last night. Jonathan Taylor's thinking about holding out, which is going to slow down that offense quite a bit as well. I think this is another offense where you get sneaky with it, but you can also trust some guys in that offense. I think you can trust a guy like Tyler Warren in the 6th. I think you can trust a guy like Josh Downs in the 10th and the 11th. I think you could even think about mixing in DJ Giddens a little bit in round 20 and just hoping that Taylor holds out. And then, that typically hasn't worked out that great as far as injuries in the past when somebody holds out. So I think you get creative. I'm not a big guy on stacking the passing offense, but I do like stacking not stacking, but getting one-offs like Warren, like Downs, like Giddens.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That one doesn't feel like a good stacking team. I don't think I've stacked that team at all so far in any of my drafts. It doesn't feel necessary.
It definitely makes you want to shower, that's for sure. And then Rich talking earlier about the running backs that we were talking about, we're breezing those guys being 3rd and 4th round picks. They are 3rd and 4th round picks, but I like them at ADP versus where Jeremiah Love's going off the board currently. I'm a big Addison guy this year. I think he's too far down the board. I think he should be within the top 100. I think I had him at 99 in my ranks. So a little bit of disrespect, in my opinion, on Jordan Addison. Has finished most of his seasons in the NFL as a wide receiver 2, and he's going off the board. I mean, what is he, my wide receiver 4 right now?
Yeah.
Rams and Saints offenses are worth buying over the Jets and Cardinals for win equity. I 1,000% agree. I like the passing offense for the Saints. And then at the same time, their playoff schedule is pretty soft, and they get Week 17 against Atlanta, in a dome. I like that spot quite a bit. That's an Atlanta defense that's been cooked over the last few years. Who knows what's going to happen with James Pierce in that situation? Does he get suspended for the year? Is that pushed out until 2027? I'm definitely never afraid of the Atlanta defense. They tend to be very, very friendly to opposing offenses. Nothing too crazy through, round 10. Dalton Kincaid, I guess, pulled up to 97.
I think it's pretty close to his ADP if you click on it. I feel like he's like 100.
It is.
Is he? I thought he was like 113.
No, he's been coming up here lately, and I don't know what's the influx with that and why. But speaking of people coming up in ADP, I saw earlier Teddy Bridgewater has now made an appearance at 210.
Who's he playing for?
That's happened within the last 24 hours. Detroit. So I don't know. Detroit, he's a backup.
I saw somebody get drafted. I think it was like Jeff Caldwell. I have no clue who that is. Maybe you guys that watch college can let me know if you know who Jeff Caldwell is. I think he was on the Colts. It's kind of like one of those I am Ron Burgundy ? Type situations. I think people just get too cute when they try to scroll down the board that far. Like if Jeff Caldwell is the guy that takes me out of the tournament, hell with it. It wasn't my year anyways. I'll see you boys next year.
Well, I think the problem is, let's say he does play. Like, you think Jeff Caldwell is going to put up a worthy score to outscore your other two quarterbacks?
I'm going to assume with a name like Jeff Caldwell, I'm going to assume that he has pasty white skin. I'm also going to assume that being that way, he's probably going to be in the slot as a receiver. So how does a guy like that play over a guy like Josh Downs? And if you're getting short intermediate routes, those are probably going downs, and they're probably going to Tyler Warren. Who was the guy? Was it Tom Kennedy last year in Detroit that would have given you like a week or two? I think he scored like 2-3 touchdowns. So if I were going to get crazy, I would probably go that route. But even then, they picked up Greg Dortch, who I don't think is a terrible look in round 20, hint, hint, on a Detroit style of build. So it might be something I look to do late if he's hanging around. He had some pretty good years in Arizona.
Speaking of Randy, I got him last round in that last draft I had.
Which we have not conversed about Greg Dortch.
No, we didn't talk about that. We're barely able to converse right now as is.
Look at Trevor dropping the knowledge. Jeff Caldwell is an undrafted rookie from Cincinnati. He plays for the Chiefs, 6'5" and ran a 4.3 40.
Wait, you sure it's not Cyrus Allen he's talking about?
We do this
same guy?
every year in fantasy, every year in best ball at least. If you're on the Chiefs and you have a wide receiver or running back beside your name, we will reach 9 guys down the depth chart. We do know that Rashee Rice is coming back off injury. Xavier Worthy was injured last year. Patrick Mahomes is coming back off injury. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the Chiefs offense just as much as the next guy. But if you're telling me I can get wide receiver 36 for the Chiefs, or I can get wide receiver 3 for Detroit, it's really not that much of a selection for me. I'm going to go Detroit every time. Detroit has the softest schedule in football. I just think that I think we've scrolled too far down the board, but I am impressed with the pool, though. I had no clue who Jeff Caldwell was. If you would have given me a guess on who Jeff Caldwell was, I thought he would be someone that would change my oil when I go to one of those like 10-minute in and out self-service type situations. So props for knowing who Jeff Caldwell is to begin with. You guys heard the beat supposedly from Bills brass coaches on Skylar Bell, wide receiver there. Your thoughts? Do you remember or recall? I'm sure you guys do. Would you guys say that Bill Belichick is an excellent head coach? Is that fair to say?
I mean, I thought that at one point.
He's a
And then now I have to wonder if it's Tom Brady.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
So that's the way I've always felt. I think Bill Belichick can coach football. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say he can't. I just think that a lot of the accolades that were given to New England was more process-based. Now, somebody has to be there to put those processes in place. And when you get a guy like Belichick, it's easy to make that stuff happen because he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. Where I'm going with the Belichick thing and how I'm tying it into Skylar Bell, Belichick also had no eye for offensive talent. I think they got severely lucky with a guy like Tom Brady. Otherwise, they had to go out and fetch talent to bring those guys into the fold. That is essentially the same type of way that I feel about Buffalo. They've gotten extremely lucky getting a guy like Allen into the fold. But they've surrounded Allen outside of James Cook. They've surrounded Allen with very little in the way of offensive weapons. Furthermore, that gets worse when you look at the wide receiver position. So could they draft somebody who looked decent? I even think that Terrell Shavers looked fine last year. I think they used him more in a blocking role where they should have used him more down around the red zone. So could this guy, Skylar Bell, be something? Yes. If I had Josh Allen builds, would I take him in round 20? Yes. I would take shots. Do I think he's someone that is going to be Puka Nacua? I do not.
I think my only concern is he kind of fits the same mold as DJ Moore and Shakir. Like, he's kind of a smaller receiver, I think, 5'11". I don't know that he beats those two guys out for those routes that would pay off. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to use probably DJ Moore or Shakir in the slot.
Those type of offenses who use annoying guys. Like they did find out last year that Terrell Shavers is a good blocker. He's going to be on the field like an annoying amount, just like Matt Collins in New England. Like Matt Collins is not coming off the field just because you think Kayshon Boutte's a good receiver. I do think Kayshon Boutte's he might be the best wide receiver in 3 in football. Maybe Jelon Jennings, but they're not going to pull Matt Collins off the field to put a guy out there when they know what they're getting with Matt Collins.
Well, and they've been talking up Keon Coleman again this offseason. I'm not sold on that after watching what happened last year, but you got to think it is a whole new head coach, but same OC. Well, OC is head coach. So what does that really do? Like, was he in Brady's doghouse last year? Or
I just think that I think there's some room for growth there, but how much room is there? That's an offense kind of like Green Bay. They like to spread the ball out a ton. That's why I'm not higher on DJ Moore. If it was concentrated, if it was DJ Moore seeing 25, 30% target share, then I'm in on DJ Moore. But that offense has just been habitually Dawson Knox is getting a couple of passes. Ty Johnson's getting work out of the backfield. Dalton Kincaid's getting work when he's healthy on the field. Steph Diggs back in the day. Gabe Davis back in the – I mean, you just got all these guys that are like mix and a match, and that's kind of why I'm in on Green Bay's offense this year is because they've eliminated a lot of the nonsense, and I say nonsense in the sense of just like the busyness of the offense where you can consolidate a little bit more. You can get a little bit more Josh Jacobs. You can get a little bit more Matthew Golden or Tucker Kraft if he's healthy. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, if he can stay healthy. I mean, I like taking bets on situations where it's a little bit more clean, and I don't know that the situation there in Buffalo is something I'm going to want to take advantage of. We're going to go ahead and go Stroud here, top of the board, top of the queue, need a third quarterback. I am getting to a crazy amount of Stroud on underdog as a QB3. I think I'm at like 40%, which makes me want to vomit, even though I'm a Houston fan. He looked terrible last year. But if you look at his underlying stuff through the first few weeks of the season, he wasn't bad last year.
He's pretty good for Seattle. I will say, if you've noticed in the last week, it feels like you have to grab your quarterback earlier. I've been for some reason, the quarterbacks towards the bottom half keep getting pulled up. Like, I mean, you look on this one, Rodgers just got taken at, what, 144? I mean,
if you're telling me I can get
I mean,
CJ
you got
Stroud,
Geno Smith going out in the 14th in LA.
Yeah.
if I can get CJ Stroud between a guy like Aaron Rodgers and Geno Smith, I'm going to have a lot of CJ Stroud. I'm just taking the bet on the player is going to turn back into what he was a couple of years ago. Our offensive line is not going to be completely inept this year. I'm not saying we're going to be good. We may be 23rd, 25th in the league, but we're going to be better than where we were last year. Looking at tight end here, how many receivers do we have? Do we have 5 or 6? I do like a guy like Trey Tucker, and we do have some bring back stuff there at tight end. We have Goddard week 10, so we can fit in Hunter Henry. That's probably where we're going to go. I do like some late round receivers as well, so we'll go Henry there. In round, was that 14? I agree with you, Trevor. I agree 100%. I think Belichick made the system. Brady perfected the system. So I think it was a little bit of both. But I think if I'm arriving at a percentage, I would say give me 80% Brady because you can't do it without the player, and give me 20% Belichick. Rich says, because of last year's stats for Johnson from New Orleans in that offense, I take him all the time. Sad the red furry badger took Strange. Adam, why'd you go Strange over Johnson?
Well, I went Strange over Johnson because I have Trevor Lawrence. Now, I get Johnson's great and all, but I want Tyler Shuck if I have Johnson. That's just the way it is for me. I know I could have run him back with Pitts and have that Week 17 matchup. I understand. But my draft philosophy is to take the tight end with the quarterback every time if possible. So
I do know in general you're just a big fan of Johnson's. So I think that probably came into play here when you got a little strange with this one. And got a little bit off the board, but I think overall, we all can agree you look like the type of guy that would be a big fan of Johnson's, just in general.
Are you happy with yourself for working in all those words?
A little bit. I think the struggle, the little bit of fumble in the middle, I would grade that as probably like a B-. Had it come out more smoothly, I think it would have carried over, but
yeah,
fumbled the ball there about midfield. Luckily, we fell on it.
Yeah, that was rough, Randy. I mean, you tried.
Hey, I don't have red panda fuzzy power. Doing the best I can over here. Just a normal guy, you know.
It's okay.
Just trying to make it.
Okay. You know, we all are trying to make it right now. I'm trying to figure out where I need to go with this next pick.
I thought I was going to sneak in some Trey Tucker in this round.
Doesn't look great, but there he is. I got him.
You're right. You are 100% correct. It does
not look great.
I mean, what was more effective, my attempt at a joke or Greg Dulcich? Easy click for me here, a guy I'm getting to a lot.
Stack the tight end.
I still can't believe he's so late.
The quarterback.
Does it not feel like late 3 or 4 tight end is just the nuts? Like, am I wrong? Yeah. I love Brock Bowers. I've said this a million times on the stream. If I could rate Brock Bowers, I would rate him like player number 10 overall, especially in a full PPR. But does it not just feel like Hunter Henry, Dalton Schultz, Brenton Strange, Juwan Johnson, Chig Okonkwo, Kenyon Sadiq, T.J. Hawkinson, Pat Freiermuth, Gunnar Helm, Terrence Ferguson. I mean, there's a lot of dudes down here. Darnell Washington on underdog. There's a lot of dudes down here that I just feel like I kind of feel that way a little bit with running back, especially the PPR guys.
Yeah, I can't.
Tajay Spears, Kamara, Marks, Justice Hill, Dylan Sampson. There's a lot of dudes down here. You're not gonna get 50 out of any of these guys, but
I think it's
10, 12 fantasy.
Yeah, I think it's just with tight end, like you can get close to your premium tight ends between 3 of them. Like one of them's probably going to get something halfway decent as long as you're not. I mean, the only one that's there's only 2 or 3 of them that are just week in, week out, just going to put up monster numbers at tight end spots. So if you don't get one of those 2 or 3, like, it feels great to just put together late tight ends to string that position.
And I think this is one of the first years in the last few years that we've been able to argue about who those receivers are or who those tight ends are. Like before, it was very clearly Gronk. It was very clearly Kelsey. I'm pretty firm that this year it's Bowers. But who's to say that it's not McBride, Loveland, hell, Kittle, if Kittle comes back healthy, Tyler Warren. I mean, there's a lot of dudes down here that just – I could make an argument for about 8 to 10 guys to be the tight end one.
Let's help our boy Rich out here before it gets passed on him. So here we go, boys. Slow draft pick and fourth. Have Puka in London so far. Who do I take in the third round? Rice, Olave, Kyron, Puka, Flowers. I mean, I'd go Rice if he's there personally. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, probably Flowers after that. Maybe Puka.
If I were lining those guys up for me,
Rice, Olave, Puka for me.
I would probably go. It's going to be 100% across the board Rice. I have a ton of Rice. I think if he avoids getting hurt, if he avoids the, law enforcement, he should probably be a turn pick in round 1. He should probably be like an 11, 12 pick in this year's draft, especially if a guy like Taylor holds out. But you just never know what you're going to get with Rice if he's going to act like a jackass off the field. But if he stays on the field, he's a league winner in round 3 for me. I'm high on Puka. I think I would rate him second. And then I could really care less if I get Olave or Flowers third. And then probably Hall, McConkey, Williams. I'm a little bit lower on that. Los Angeles rushing game. And if I were going to take somebody there, it would be Blake Corum. That is a ballsy build out of the 2 spot. 1, 4, 11, 1. I've not seen that yet.
I just don't know how that functionality works.
I had somebody take one quarterback in one of my drafts completely, the entire draft. So they're just going to forfeit one of their weeks at QB. And their quarterback was Lamar, so good luck with
417 if he goes down.
Yeah.
I was starting to wonder, why is wide receiver drying up pretty fast? And I looked over and I was like,
dude has 11.
Yeah, all that.
Hell, I had a 2 QB draft yesterday because quarterbacks went off the board 10 to 15 picks earlier than they should have every time.
This is another guy too that I love in this range. I just cannot stop clicking him.
Odd.
I mean, Kate Otten this far in the draft he's going to catch. I was going to do it, Rich. I swear to you, I was going to pick him. I was 100% in. I was going to make the selection.
Just before.
Now I got to default to my guy.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to make you proud. There. I was going to make you proud. Who is that a picture of on Cody Ewell? Is that Rip Hamilton? Is that Carlos Boozer? Who is that?
Drew Gooden.
Wow.
Who?
Okay. Maybe that is Drew Gooden's account. I don't know why his name would be Cody. Maybe that's his middle name.
Yeah, it is Drew Gooden.
Just a little trivia for everybody.
I mean, I'm surprised you guys pulled that one. You guys are surprising me with this Jeff Caldwell, Drew Gooden knowledge. Anybody got any random sports names they want to throw out and discuss? How do you guys feel about Chuck Knoblauch?
I mean, the Yankees don't really like him. Any Yankee fan. He kind of hurt one of their World Series attempts.
One of their, 28 or 29, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Went Olave for the week 17 when New Orleans and Atlanta. I don't hate it. Don't hate it. I think you could have potentially went Rice and then came back with like Johnson later on, like you were talking about, or Tyson. I assume ETN was already gone. If not, maybe you could pull ETN around 4 with a little bit of the drop. I need to flip back over to the page here and look at some wide receivers, or I'm going to be in trouble. Look pretty easy for me here.
There you go. So 2 hours ago, I told you Teddy Bridgewater was 210 on ADP. He is now falling back down to 220. So that 24-hour spike he had, or whatever it was weird, and it's going to go back to regression now. It looks like so.
What did Goff have like diarrhea lettuce or something? So they're like,
I really
Bridgewater
don't
might play.
know. I mean, I saw that and I was like confused, and then I just peeked down there right now and I was like, oh, 220, okay. Like 2 hours ago he was 210. I'm like, he'll go back down to where he belongs, I guess.
I just don't want to waste a pick hoping for somebody to go down.
It could be best ball week. It could have been best ball week where you had a lot of guys in here that haven't been drafting all off season, and they're just throwing random entries in. So it could be something like that. And speaking of throwing random entries in, we are going to be joining another draft after this one if anybody wants to jump in with us.
How many does it have to take for that to get pulled up like that? Or anybody down there at the 220-ish is probably easily picked up if they just have a few that get drafted up.
To get to 220 is not hard. To get inside the 220, or get inside the 200 is a bit more difficult. What's up, Brett, man?
Okay.
Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully work wasn't too crazy. It's always nice to clock out, release, have a nice cold beverage, and chillax. And then Rich wrote us a paragraph here. Could have taken Rice, guess, and waited to see if ETN came back around at pick 44. And he's sitting at 40. See if he's still there. Time will tell. I mean, even if you get ETN with or HN, whatever the hell he's being called now, even if you get him with Olave, you just full game stack that game. I would imagine like if we're lining week 17, Atlanta versus New Orleans for the division, close your eyes, earmuffs, Michael, because I know you're a Carolina fan, but I would say that over-under is probably 44.5. Does that sound about right? 42, 44.5?
You didn't tell Trevor hold his ears.
If it makes you feel better, you can't hurt me any worse than the Panthers have already hurt me. So
Trevor did say that Bryce was going to throw for was it 4,000 yards? I think he said the other day.
Something that was a little bit dramatic to me, but I mean,
I'm not going to hate on the man's fandom.
Do we get to include preseason?
No.
You can include preseason. I don't think it's going to make a difference. You might be able to include last season. And I don't know.
Trevor on this. Go Panthers either way.
I think you guys are destined to fail this year just because you won last year. You know that like the
nobody wins the division most of the time back to back.
That's the thing. And then when you get a team like that steals it, it's very rare that a team like that goes back to back.
You want to know what's crazy? The last 2 times we've won the division didn't even have a winning record.
And I could care less. Like I'm an AFC guy, so if you guys won the conference, I just hope we win the. I hope we win the AFC so we can take care of business in Super Bowl.
Yeah, I gotta drop off, but I'll probably be back for commentary later. I don't know. I probably won't be able to get to that draft though.
No, you're good.
Whatever.
I just gotta find a way to get myself out of here.
just hit the parachute.
Woo, 4K and 32 tutties. Let me fix our screen here. Okay. Actually, when is it back on me? Am I coming up?
Yeah, you're coming up.
Yeah, I got a few picks.
Picks away. Oh wait, no, 5 picks away because circling back around. Yeah. Trevor, we got that in writing, sir. So let's see if it happens. I hope it does. I really do.
There we go. Get some of that space out of there.
Oh, I got some elbow room now. Thanks.
How are you feeling about your draft so far?
This draft was actually pretty easy to do. I wanted it to be a little bit different just because, and I didn't go and reach for anything. The only person I reached for, 7 picks above ADP, was Trevor Lawrence. But I already had Brian Thomas, and I already had plans to get Jacoby Myers where he needed to be. So I was like, let's go ahead and reach for that one, but then let everything else fall as it may. So
Trevor giving the shout out already. Broncos and Rams Super Bowl. I'm not going to argue
Okay.
with you with the
Well,
Rams. I would argue against you with the Broncos. First-year play caller. Yes, I know he has Sean Payton there to babysit, and I actually think Sean Payton will eventually steal the play calling duties back anyways. I'm a little concerned about Nix and the ankle and just kind of seeing how he comes back. But there's a lot of teams that are due for some progression for me in 2026. Baltimore should be back to being somewhat themselves. Teams like that I think are in the fold. You would think that Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl at some point, right?
I mean, again, it's getting tighter and tighter as we go.
That window's definitely
Another guy,
closing for
speaking
sure.
of Josh Allen. Yeah, speaking of Josh Allen, one of his receivers that's not really his receiver is being pulled up in ADP as well. 225 for Brandon Cooks, who does not have a job. So I don't know.
Well, not
Some
only does
people
he not have
taking
a
some
job,
weird
but
flyers
like
on some things.
if you're a team out there, you need a receiver. Do you call Brandon Cooks? Do you call Steph Diggs? Do you call Debo? I assume we're not calling Ayuk because he's probably on his phone talking shit about San Francisco. But
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen's out there. There's a lot of
We
dudes.
can call
I mean,
Keenan
there's even
Allen,
some
though, still,
guys
I
that you
think.
could probably
So,
get.
yeah.
There's some guys you could probably get cheap too, like Calvin Ridley, Jerry Jeudy. I think Brandon Cooks is probably. What was the old phone book days where you had to flip through all the yellow pages to get to the white pages? I imagine that
Yes.
Brandon Cooks is in the white pages.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with camp starting, there's a lot of names there. People that are like, hey, maybe this guy will be good. Maybe this guy.
Trevor's saying that he thinks Jalen Waddle will pick up as the X factor. I think that Sean Payton would agree with you,
For the
and I think that
Broncos?
we're likely to hear that a lot out of Sean Payton, where he's talking about him being the Joker and that kind of stuff. I don't hate it. I think it's in the realm of possibilities. It's just I don't know that they would be the first team that I would bet on if I were a betting man. My sister just called to chat, told her I'm dealing with a red furry badger. Call me back tomorrow.
Those red furry badgers, the red furry badgers are dangerous for sure. You gotta make sure you tend to them.
All right, Adam, read your team.
We got JSN, Devon A-Chain, Chris Olave, Liz Burden third, Devontae Adams, Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, Kenneth Gainwell, Jacoby Myers, Malik Willis, Keaton Mitchell, Brenton Strange, Tyler Algier, Greg Dulcich, Tua, Braylon Allen, Emmett Johnson, Malachi Fields, and Jalen Tolbert. C minus.
What are you rating yours at? C minus. Okay. I'm gonna go a little bit higher for you. I'm gonna give you a B minus. Caught a little bit of falling value on JSN. Caught a little bit of falling on Olave. Got burdened about ADP. Adams is a guy that I'm typically getting on underdog, but he's fine here, I think. BTJ, I don't really love, but he's stacked. I do like some Kyle Pitts this year, and he's stacked as well. A couple of picks of falling value now on Kenny Gainwell, as much as he's coming up the board. Got Myers around about where he should be. Same with Willis. You only pulled up Mitchell about 3 picks, not bad. Brenton Strange is fine. Algier fine. Dulcich would be someone I would have gone the other way with Schultz. I know you have Willis, and I know why you did it. Tua fine. Braylon Allen fine. Emmett Johnson, I think, is just throwing a dart at the wall to see if it sticks. Malachi Fields, much of the same. And Jalen Tolbert could be the wide receiver 1, could be the wide receiver 6 for Miami. Nobody really knows.
Really don't.
And then for me, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, all the Browns, Jeremiah Love, Josh Jacobs, Christian Watson, Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, R.J. Harvey, Jordan Addison, Jared Goff, Dallas Goedert, Jaden Higgins, C.J. Stroud, Hunter Henry, Dalton Schultz, Stribling, Justice Hill, Ted Hurst, Keon Coleman, and Damon Claiborne.
I'll give
I
you
would
a B.
say, I was going to say B minus. So
Yeah.
I think we got two solid teams. You ready to get into one more?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right, let me get back over to the screen and I'll do the countdown. If anybody wants to hop in with us, let me know. Let me know when you are at the screen, Adam, and we'll do the countdown.
I am here, sir.
All right, going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, 0. I am 1 of 12. Hopefully you are the same.
Whatever 0 of 12 is.
Yeah, you're in this draft. I'm going to pre-apologize if my voice starts to go. If my voice starts to go, you might have to pick us up for a second there, Adam. Let me get a drink of water and see if that helps.
Yeah, I can. I want to tell a story why you do that. So, those of you who are not around here in this southeast area, those of you who are, may know a little restaurant called Bojangles. Bojangles is now serving a limited time Fuego breakfast burrito. I was there the other day, and I've had it several times, and I asked them, hey, this ghost pepper sauce, where does it come from? Can I get some? And they told me the brand. It was Yellowbird, and I went to their website, and I ordered $70 worth of hot sauce yesterday. It comes in a 5-pack variety with the ghost pepper sauce that I wanted, and it's 20-ounce bottles, $70, and I think it's a great investment. So if you know of anybody who likes hot sauce or would like to recommend any hot sauces to me, I'm a hot sauce connoisseur, and I love that kind of stuff, send it my way.
We are not sponsored by Bojangles, but we did have a 30-minute Bojangles read from Adam. I appreciate you holding it down there while I got a drink of water. Also big on the Bengals this year. I 1,000% agree with you, Trevor. I do think they could be a sneaky team for the playoffs if Burrow can stay upright, but I do think that team's going to go through the roof. Especially love them for fantasy. Higgins, Chase, Burrow, Chase Brown even. Mike saying, damn, step away for a few minutes and the orange badger absorbed Michael. Yeah, Michael had to run. Not to give away too much of the guy's life, but he and his wife are fostering some dogs, and they're trying to get people to adopt the dogs, and they got some people coming over to get them out of the house. So can't hate on them too much. Who do you guys have as your most improved team this year? I'll let you go first, Adam.
It's the Saints. Straight up.
Let me think about that one for a second. I'll tell you who I think it's not. I would tell you my straight down. I think that's the Colts. I think the Colts are going to struggle pretty bad this year. I'm going to go Bengals. I think the Bengals bounce back pretty hard. I think they go 10-6, something like that. Need to remember to grab a couple of beers before each live stream. Put bottles on ice on the sides. Voice problem solved. I'll bill you later, Randy. Yeah, send me the invoice. I did. So funny enough, I don't really think it's that funny, but am I in the 10 again? Damn it. I just noticed that.
Yeah, you're 10.
I spent about $2,600 on Monday night. Ordered a bunch of stuff for a new setup for the background, everything else. So that is coming down the pike. Part of that, though, was a $200 mini fridge to go right beside the desk. So I can just pop over, grab it, pop the cap, throw it back. So it's in the works, Rich. It's coming.
Are you still keeping the other mini fridge?
Yes. Yeah, we'll have 2 mini fridges in the man cave for football season. Keep it stocked, keep it fresh.
Okay.
I know you're not a drinking man
There you go.
anymore, but throw some sodas in one, some other beverages in the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it separated a little bit. Yeah, that's fine.
You got to keep it separated. I do know that we
That's
plan on
exactly
doing a live stream for about an hour on Sunday mornings, and then I'm going to do a live stream for an hour Sunday nights. So, going to be doing a lot of talking, yelling at the TV, probably watching CJ Stroud play quarterback all year. So my voice is probably going to need some nice, refreshing beverages on Sunday night. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
There you go. That didn't take long.
I was really hoping that guy was going to go Taylor. I don't want any Taylor, especially not on DraftKings. Yeah, I can't have them
Always rich.
contaminating the good drinks with their nasty hands. Probably well-worn jail hands from back in the day.
Lord knows we drink way different than other fans do.
Yeah, I think they call it lean, right? I assume that's what you're referring to.
Nah.
All right. George wants to know. Sorry, my voice is acting crazy. It's like I went through reverse puberty again. Hey, you guys want to go to the store? George wants to know, who are the Super Bowl picks for this year? Who you got for the NFC?
NFC, I have Rams. It's very chalky, though. I mean,
I'm going to give 2. I think the favorite is the Rams. If I'm picking one that might be a little off the board, I'll go Detroit. What do you like in the AFC?
AFC is a little bit more of a wild card, but I like New England.
I will go with I think I'm going to go Bengals. I know that one's a little bit out there. I have a gut feeling they're going to have a really good year. Part of me wants to say the Texans, but that's really going to depend on how well CJ Stroud plays. And after we saw last year, I can't put any stock in that. But if you didn't watch any Houston games last year, if you got to see our defense in the playoffs, that defense was nasty. It was equally as good, if not better, than Seattle's defense. Yeah, no QB with Achilles injury has come back to play up to par with their first season back. Might get healthy or back to normal late in the season. Daniel Jones talking about it. Yeah, I think that team's going to struggle pretty bad. I think they're probably looking to move off Danny Dimes after this year as well. Rams and Cincy, yeah, same idea there, Rich. If it's not the Rams out of the NFC, I got a shocker in the Cowboys. Knicks broke their streak. Cowboys time to break theirs.
Not happening in this century anyway. Let me rephrase that. In this decade. So
I do think the Cowboys are a playoff team. I think they're back in this year.
Yeah.
The defense is getting a little better.
Team, yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me rephrase that. A large portion of that is going to depend on how happy they can keep George Pickens. Now, Pickens cannot sign a long-term contract now that he's playing on the tag.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know by like week 15 if they're struggling. Is Pickens going to be George Pickens, or is he going to be sitting on the sideline pitching a fit? Is he going to be
But
like
he can-
AJ Brown from last year?
He can play for a contract with another team for next year, correct? I mean, unless he gets tagged again, obviously.
Well, Dallas or another team can sign him in the offseason to a long-term
Okay,
deal.
so he should be playing. He should be playing for a contract then. So he should be playing at pretty high level.
But this is George Pickens we're talking about.
Yes, it is. I do have to remember.
I mean,
that
look
as
at the
well,
Cam
'cause we know how
Scatabo. Look at the Cam Scatabo situation. I don't disagree with Scatabo. Be yourself. All I'm saying is maybe be yourself after you have life-changing money. Maybe be yourself after you sign that first big contract. Then go do some backflips. Hell, I'll do one with you. But before you sign that contract and you're just coming off a major injury, maybe get paid for the work you've put in your entire life before you go re-injure your leg doing some stupid shit to show off for a bunch of people who really don't fucking care. I don't care if Cam Cataboo, that's actually pretty decent. I don't care if he can do a backflip. What I care about is, can you get me 8 to 10 touchdowns? Can you keep your dumb ass from doing a backflip and breaking your neck, a la David Wilson from 2014, if anybody remembers that, for the New York Giants?
I think David Wilson's career, or I say his life, probably after football it's probably decent. I would hope. I hope he's doing well. I think he had the education and graduated from college. Cam, I don't know if he graduated from Arizona State or not, but I don't know how he's going to fare after football. So if he breaks his neck or does something stupid, I don't know where he goes after football.
Rich, a lifelong Cowboys fan, and I'm telling you, you're wrong. As long as Jerry Jones is still alive, we're not going to make it. Yeah. It feels like Jerry just knows too much for his own good. Yeah, I do love me some Caleb Downs. I do like that move. I legitimately think the Cowboys will be better. I just don't know if they're better than the Rams. I don't know if they're better than even Detroit. George, I think Houston and Denver are also great in the AFC because, if you didn't watch either one of those teams last year, you really did yourself a disservice. That Houston defense was nasty.
Let's see what happens on this turn right here. Everybody falling, actually, in this draft a little bit. Like Josh Allen fell. ETN's falling in this draft. I mean, below their ADP, obviously. Some people getting pulled up, obviously, as well. Let's see where I want to go right here.
Have you guys ever seen anyone die on stream before? I think it may be happening. If Knicks can get back up to speed, they're in the AFC for sure. Yeah, it just worries me a little bit. Just a little bit. But that defense is spectacular. I mean, spectacular. The Seahawks, Denver, and Houston defenses are difference makers. Uh-oh. I disagree with Jerry Jones' take. That Knicks guy was really bad kicking people out of the stadiums. Yeah, I think Jerry reminds me of like the can't think of the guy's name, the Bills front office guy, where he just thinks he's a little bit more intelligent than everyone else in the room. Yeah, James Dolan was the guy. Was it Charles Oakley they kicked out of the stadium for life or whatever it was?
Yes.
I remember the guy for the Clippers. That was the owner, and that was for a completely different reason, right?
Correct.
I don't watch enough NBA to be up on it too much. I mean, I kind of, I like sports, so I keep up with some, but people are expecting the Pats to fall off. Watch them win the division again.
Yeah, I think they'll stay in their little bubble up there, and they will probably take care of business again this year.
I'm going to agree and disagree. I think that they don't win the division, but they finish second in their playoff team. I think the Bills win the division, and that entire divisions very weak after those two teams. Some nice falling value in this one. Josh Allen going at 36. That's the second latest I've seen him go off the board.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. It's a really interesting board right now.
It's going to be hard for me not to take a fourth running back here if Bucky doesn't go, or Quinshon. Wow, neither go.
Yeah.
This one's tough. I do think Quinshon sees a ton of work. I am a little bit worried about Bucky's workload. I don't get to a lot of Quinshon, but I think at this falling ADP, I have to try to dip my toe in the water a little bit. This might be a 4 running back build with the running backs that I've gotten early. I don't get the Javonte Williams so high. He's tied for third, possible fourth in targets. They have one of the easiest schedules this year. It doesn't seem like they'll need to use him as much as in past years. I'm under on Javonte.
He's talking about Jamo, not Devontae.
Jamo?
Jamo, yeah.
Oh, I'm actually high on Jamo this year. I don't think he's he's not going to break your league or anything of that nature. But if we're talking about from a best ball standpoint, Jamo has a ceiling that not many other people can reach in the NFL. Average depth of target, he can get you some yak. Offense has the easiest schedule in the NFL. More than likely a bounce back year for Detroit. I'm high on Jamo. Javonte, I'm under on compared to the field. A little bit worried about his workload and his health. No disrespect, but why would someone use your ranks over someone who won best ball like Liam? I guess my question is, how do we know someone's ranks to draft from are more accurate than general ADP? I think that is essentially per person. Not knocking Liam at all, because obviously he won Best Ball Mania. But if you look at Liam's overall advance rates, they're not good. If you take away his one win, which is very much skill-based, obviously he drafted the team, but also can be a lot of luck mixed into that as well, and I think he would agree with that. If you take away that one win, then I think there's a lot of room for discussion. But if you like Liam's ranks, I'd say use Liam's ranks. If you tend to agree with one of us, I think using our ranks are fine. There's a lot of other good sources out there, ETR. There's Leg Up. I mean, there's a lot of good people putting out ranks. I think it's just you find who you tend to agree with more, and you go with those people. Leg Up, I know Pat won BBM 6. I think Liam was maybe 4 or 3, something like that. So it's essentially just luck based on who wins. I do know that the guys who have won are touting a lot, so they're cashing in. It would be like saying, I won the World Series as a poker main event this year. Like, am I likely to do that again? No. Was I likely to do it in the first place? No. Could it happen? As long as I have a ticket and a buy-in and a chip and a chair. Who's to say it's not me 6 months from now on stream talking about a draft that I did on stream winning $3 million? Is it likely? Hell no, it's not likely. Could it happen? Yes. Would I say that I'm any less likely than Liam to win it? I would not.
Randy, if I may chime in on this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I think it's more or less, you look at somebody's rankings, you come in with a blank canvas yourself. You have ADP you go from, which is average draft position. Obviously, if everybody else that's doing this, and there's hundreds of thousands of drafts and people doing this on a daily basis, and so that moves and goes as it daily, hourly at times. And then you have people who give out rankings, ourselves and the other content creators. And no one ranking system is superior to any other ranking system, in my belief. I mean, our rankings are not like Randy said, are not better than necessarily Liam's or necessarily, but we're giving you something that allows you to have a tool to use, because we don't necessarily expect you to be like, oh, I'm going to take this ranking and I'm going to go verbatim and use what this is. We want you to use those rankings and fill out yourself how you should draft. We want it to be a help, a tool for you. That's what it is. It's a tool. It's going to assist you in making decisions so you don't have to sweat it, get nervous about it, overthink it. That's what it's there for. And if you don't like ours, you can go find somebody else's. It's perfectly fine if it fits what you want and how you want to do your draft. That's really, in a nutshell, how it is.
And then to another point, this year, and this year only probably, ours are free. So
Yeah,
I mean,
this year, yeah.
I know I've watched a lot of Liam's stuff back in the past. His personality and mine probably wouldn't vibe a lot. He I don't know, he's not afraid to be controversial, which I don't mind it. I just think that if you don't realize those high-end outcomes like he did, and again, shout out to him for winning it. I mean, obviously, he's got more room to talk than I do at this point. But I think if you matched up our advance rates, I think you're going to advance more teams if you were following my ranks over the last few years versus his. And nothing against his. And again, he won the million. I did. For my division winners, I got the Pats, Panthers, Cowboys, Texans, Broncos, Bengals, Bears, Rams. I would agree with the Rams. I think the NFC North could be anybody. I agree with the Bengals. I think the Broncos or Chargers are likely in that division. I agree with the Texans or Jaguars. Cowboys or Eagles. I think the NFC South is either the Saints or Tampa Bay. I think the Bills could win the East. I don't know if I like a parlay on all those just because there's so many question marks for me.
I mean, if you put $1 on there or something like that, it's fine. $5, $10, just go for it. It probably pays out a pretty good penny.
That guy in the 7 has a lot of slows. He's been at least 5 of 7 of my big money slows. And again, nothing against the question. That I appreciate the question. I just think you just find who you're comfortable with. If you see who I'm drafting, and you're like, this guy's taking a lot of who I'm taking. Maybe he sees a couple of guys different than I do. Then I think you go with our rankings. But if you're adjusting Pat's stuff or Pete's stuff or Davis's stuff or Liam or whoever, like I said, there's a lot of guys out there that are putting out really good content. It's just, what you're feeling and vibes based. A lot of it also too is like who's in the room with you. Because you're going to catch a lot of rooms that you're going to catch a lot of volume value, and then you're going to get some rooms where you're going to hate your team no matter what rankings you're drafting from.
Yeah, it's definitely a good question. We appreciate that. We appreciate the, tough questions and ask us, because we are more than happy to give answers to them.
If my voice will work. We'll put that caveat on it. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm mowing through cough drops over here trying to stay upright.
If Randy can't give you an answer, I got it for you. Then he's going to tell me later, that was not the right answer.
I guess with best ball, it's one time a year and you see results versus DFS mini slates. Yeah, that's essentially the aspect. If you can get lucky one time in best ball and be good for the rest of your life. I would advise you to watch a lot of my showdown stuff. If you like my showdown content, you follow my showdown content, and you are hitting my showdown content, you're probably going to have a different outlook going into next season versus this season, since we're just getting the channel kind of up and running. I've had a lot of success in showdown, so I want to pat myself on the back there. But just, stick with us a little bit and see what you think. And if it's not for you, cool. And if it is, cool. I will say we're also not going to try to take your arm and your leg. I'm not sure what Liam's prices are. I'm building our stuff right now. I would imagine that we're probably around $30 or $40 a month for everything. I think we're going to condense everything into one package here pretty soon. So, and that's for the NFL season. But best ball next year, we're probably going to do $29.99 for the year. I don't know anybody else who's in that price range. So again, price specific, I would say our ranks are pretty high up the board as far as being price conscious as well for people who don't, maybe you're not entering the 555 10 times throughout the year. So, but it's to each their own, Hopefully you guys will stick around and watch some of our content throughout the NFL season. Like I said, most of my damages come in DFS, some in best ball. Made a few best ball finals, and I've had some nice scores there as well. So it's something that hopefully you guys can draft alongside us. If it's not me using my ranks winning $3 million, I hope it's one of you guys. And Trevor says, I don't really know if ranks matter anyway. This contest is just a big crapshoot. It's all luck. Two round 3 last year with no rankings. I disagree a little bit on that one, Trevor, to be honest. You can get by, and you're right that it is a big crapshoot with this particular contest. But I still think having player takes and having some ranks to go off of is plus EV overall.
Yeah, I mean, like Randy said, rankings are essential to have. Last year, previous years before we started this, I didn't have a ranking system, and I got a couple teams through one year, but nowhere near where Randy had them. I mean, I had them round 2, round 3. I had people who didn't even play, who were, because I would take these long shots, down the board just to stack and stuff like that, and I didn't know, I know sports. I know football. I've done this for 20 plus years, but without a ranking system, you kind of just leave yourself kind of in a void where you can panic. You don't know what you need to be doing. You go with ADP and you're just like, I'll just trust everybody else that does this. But not everybody does this on a regular basis. So
I think there's that too. And then if you're struggling financially in your life, one of the most important things you can do is watch what somebody who's not struggling is doing and try to mimic what they're doing. So if you go watch a guy who has had a ton of success, let's say a guy like Shady Advice. Shady's not drafting willy-nilly. Shady has ranks. He has the sidekick, things of that nature. Pat, ranks and a sidekick. Even Liam, he has his own ranks. So if the guys who you're looking at, who you're watching the content, if those are the same guys that are drafting off, their version of their ranks or whatever the case is, they're probably doing that for a reason.
While Randy steps away, losing his voice again, the quarterback run went hot and heavy in this draft. It is sporadic, but went crazy. Now you got so I've noticed this around 12, 13, we have a tight end run, and they go off the board pretty quickly as well. If you get a tight end run, I saw one the other day, probably about 5 in a row, tight ends just went bang, bang, bang. It was wild. So that run is also a thing we got to start focusing on, as well as the QB run.
Got to know Ball teams, offensive coordinators, defenses have a chance. When you look at all the actors' ranks, gives you a well-rounded picture to go with your own knowledge. I think so too.
Yeah,
I think it's
agree,
just
Rich. Absolutely.
there's a bit of IKB stuff in there. Like I know Ball, there's a bit of a projection standpoint. Maybe you know, let's think of a player. Bishal Tootin. Let me ask you guys in the chat. How do you feel about Bishal Tootin this year overall? Going off the board currently at like 55. Are you taking him at 55? Is he a fade? I equate it a lot also to in a previous career, I was in the military and saw some combat. And we would do something called an AAR, an after action review. You could have 5-10 dudes in the same firefight. And in each one of those instances, even though we were in the exact same location, no more than 30, 40 feet from each other at the time, you would get 8 to 10 different stories because we're all going to see it from different angles and different things are going to happen to us throughout the year. In this particular style of contest, you need essentially to get struck by lightning twice standing in the same spot is essentially the odds you have of taking first with any draft. So the more little 1% and 2% and 5% edges you can find, the better off you're going to be. And the only 5% edge I would say is out there is producing your own ranks. Now, if you're unaware of what you're doing, it could be a -5. But you're going to have a lot of people that enter this contest in August, September, that have never played DFS, that have never played best ball, and they're going to get in here and they're going to likely struggle and be thrown in $25. So if I can take advantage of those people, have a decent advance rate, and play pretty well overall, I'll be happy with my season. I don't enter this contest hoping to win. I max this contest because, one, I can afford it, and two, I'm hoping to realize the same equity that Liam realized a few years ago when he won. I assume it was like 1 million, maybe when he won, maybe 2. I know it's gone up over the last few years. I think Herzig won like 250 in year 1.
But also there's little contests in here too. By the way, Rich, he talked about the little contest he was maxing out. They opened up another $10 one, so I can get back into $10 now.
I think I have a couple entries left in the first $10. I did max the $7, the Tutty that we've been messing around with, but they opened the second one.
Yeah,
of
the
that one also.
22nd. Correct, they did.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them to open up a $3 one again so I can get my tickets cashed in.
We're just saying he's a good pick to me. Allen isn't much. Rodriguez hurt with a Jones fracture. Tootin has all the skills to take the job and run with it. I tend to agree. I would say that Bishal Tootin is an all right pick where he's going off the board. I don't know that there's much upside built in there. If he gets the Tootin role, I assume he pays off his price tag, but I'm not sure how much room for growth there is there. But I think that other people might see it differently. Adam, how do you feel about Bishal Tootin?
I think we talked about this on a previous stream, but I don't like the fact of him getting the important touches on the goal line. Personally, I think a lot of Trevor Lawrence runs from the 2 or 1 yard line, a lot of passes on third down to Britton Strange in that area, or maybe even Parker Washington. But I just don't. I struggle with Tootin get the important carries when needed. Yards, great, but carries probably. But getting in that painted area, that's going to be the struggle for him.
So, I mean, we have 3 different people. We have 2 different takes on it already. Adam sounds like he's a little bit lower. Maybe he's in the 60s on Tootin. Whereas Rich and I don't mind drafting him around about ADP right now. Which one of us is right? Who knows? I'll tell you in February.
Yes.
You know, but I mean, I don't have any. You know, there's very few players that I have a very, very strong take on. I'm way under on CMC this year. Am I right? I don't know. I was way ahead on CMC last year. That worked. I was way ahead on Taylor last year. I'm under on Taylor this year. So for me, you know, kind of like Rich was saying earlier, like just reading the situation, coaching changes, you know, pass rates, 1,000 billion stats go into it. It's just going to be who gets lucky. Huge contest. I'll catch you guys on the $10 in August. I am going to say that I'm going to probably cut this stream at 2, by the way, because I don't think anybody wants to hear me struggle for another hour in a third draft. Boys start up. Drive me nuts.
Yeah, August when camps open and preseason football starts. I mean, told y'all, I may have lied to y'all. I told y'all I was going to get about 50 of 25 in. I'm at 43 right now, so 50 is going to be done before August. So I will probably get very close to maxing this out. I won't lie. I want a good bit though done during the preseason though, because I want to fill out, you know, how guys are doing, where they move. You know, rankings are going to shuffle a lot in the next 3-4 weeks.
I'll also say that we're probably going to do some underdog drafts as well on the streams that I'm on, just because I'm going to max this one probably early part of August. I think I'm at like 110, 112 already, which was not by design, but I think when you start streaming, they kind of go off a little faster than you want sometimes. So probably going to mix and match in.
And I think we need to schedule a 250 draft party for that single entry. If y'all want to get on that, we need to schedule a stream for that one.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to max out the 100, the 250, all the little stuff. There's no way I'm maxing the 555, but I don't have 83 grand I want to throw away, but if I lose 10K, I'm all right.
A stream 250 would be pretty fun.
Tootin has the most juice, but Rodriguez will be annoying and Allen will mix in. I think it's more of a committee. I would tend to agree with that. If I were breaking it down, I would say you probably see 55% Tootin, 35% Rodriguez, and the rest to LaQuint Allen. I have a feeling that the Jags backfield will be how Washington's was last year. I think it'll be similar. I think Bishal Tootin's probably better than Bill, but I agree that it's probably going to be nastier than we want it to be. Forgot which stream it was, but they had supposedly a quote from medical staff insider. The injury Rodriguez is a Jones fracture. Those are hard for running backs to come back from. I think yes and no. I think he'll be annoying at some point. It might not be early in the season, but I think he'll work in a long history there with Liam Cohen, who I think was the guy who recruited him to college. That was just in the last week or so I saw that stream. Did you guys get to enter 2 of the $25 ticket the other day? We did. I've done every one of their boosts. I still have like a few tickets I need to burn through, 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly how many, but I have some baseball, some golf, and some $3 tickets that I can't use. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for my voice, guys. I talk all day for a career now, and then I get on here and do this. My voice is going out rapidly.
Yeah, I thought my delay was bad, but your voice. No, I don't like my draft, Randy. I will go ahead and admit to it. This draft has been rough.
I really don't like drafting out of the 10, 11, or 12 a lot. But I'd say that my team's fine-ish. Like, I don't – if this is the team that won it, I'd be surprised. But maybe I could sneak this one into round 2 or 3 and make a few bucks on it.
This team has a fair feel of being one and done for me. It's different in some aspects, but it's different in the wrong ways in most. I don't have any of my QBs stacked. I did not get to that. I waited a little late on QBs thinking I could get cute down here, but you're in the 1 and you can't get cute down to 1. You can't get cute on the ends at all.
Another thing, too, is going back to a little bit of our earlier conversation would be, if you're drafting, draft alongside us with the Solver draft tool. Use code BB26 if you want to go get 20% off there if you're a first-time subscriber. I would not draft without a tool regardless. That's going to put you on a better track as well. So we were talking about those 2%, 5% edges you can find. That's definitely one of them. Rich, this one's for you, buddy. You know who I usually go with. You got lucky that Marshawn Lowe was a week 17 bring back for me on this roster. That's what Randy and I were trying to warn you about earlier when you were caught in the internet limbo. Don't draft this team, Adam.
Yeah.
Does that count as like divine intervention? Is that what that would be?
Yeah. I mean, from the future, y'all were thinking ahead about not drafting this team, and so be it. I did, and it's been a rough team. I want to try to make a little comeback right here at the end as far as stacking, but it's going to look ugly.
I will say that there's some weird stuff with that with DFS. Where if you can't enter a contest, or if you go to enter a contest and you're blocked, or whatever the case is, who did that just take from me? Did I time out? I did time out with Justice Hill. Oh well. I hate to hear that.
Are you really complaining about that? Are you really complaining?
Well, I didn't want to go 7 RBs, but it is what it is. What was I talking about before that? I don't even remember. Oh, he brought up the Marshawn Lloyd situation. I'm just glad I fit in the club now. That's 3. You've talked me into 3 Marshawn Lloyds. I had 0 before that. I will end up with about 10 teams in this contest. Well, I hope one of those 10 teams wins $3 million. I honestly do.
Yeah, Trevor, man, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. It'd be amazing for anybody, too.
I'm maxing this one because I had some luck a couple of years ago. I've made money every year in Best Ball. Had a good finish a couple of years ago. And then, honestly, if you are maxing this contest, pacing, especially if you're not streaming, pacing yourself, you can get in it for a lot less than what's advertised. It's $37.50 normally. They're giving back $375 off top, and I can't tell you how many drafts I've gotten into for free based off the kickbacks and the promos and things of that nature. I'm hoping that's me this year. Sam Sherman won Underdog Best Ball Mania 6 with 53 for $2,005,000. I'm hoping that's me this year. I only have 50 right now. I planned to stop at 50, but we'll just have to see how many we do on stream. If we keep going, I might might max out Best Ball Mania, but we'll see. I don't play a lot of DFS on FanDuel. I do some betting on FanDuel. And earlier this week, put in a 3-leg home run parlay that hit, which essentially makes maxing Best Ball Mania free for me now. So I'm kind of like, do I just push in 100 teams in August once we have a little bit more information and see where it goes? But we'll see how things look the closer we get to the season. I don't mind going with the 7 running backs now that I'm only going to get 2 QBs, so I think it'll work itself out in the end. Hopefully my guy falls back to me here in 2 picks. I did not want to see Mooney go off the board there because I was hoping to get he or Fields at 232. I know who I want to go with it. Or 231. I know who I want to go with here at 226. Seeing Austin Hooper at 217. A little Tua stack there. Don't mind it.
I told you. I was going to do it.
Wait, are you the one again?
I am. I've been down here the whole time, Randy.
How many times you know that besides Liam winning Best Ball Mania, that might be the most luck thing. I don't think I've ever seen you draft past like pick 6. You just steadily stay in the top 3. I think you're getting all my early. I think you're getting my 1, 2, and 3.
It's becoming a trend, but this one draft was not. Again, I tried to get cute on this one, and it is everything but cute. It is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Are you looking at the mirror again?
The mirror, yes, I was obviously. What else would I be talking about, Randy?
We're gonna go Malachi Fields.
By the way, for those of you who asked go ahead.
No, I was gonna say probably
for those of you who asked. Those of you who asked for my Twitter handle over the weekend, it's now available for you right there. It's updated. It's ready to go. I felt like it was time, and maybe I was coaxed a little bit by Randy to go ahead and get it updated to branding. So now we're on brand at Adam DFS Badger on Twitter or X. You can ask me anything you want to on there, comment on anything. I will probably not post very much, but I am available if you have any DFS questions or best ball questions.
Threatened.
Or baseball questions.
Yeah,
or
FanDuel
hot
is
sauce
crap.
questions.
FanDuel is crap. They will run some stuff at the very beginning of the season that's your money back stuff. I'll play in some of that. I do like their sports book the best. I got limited on DK a while back, and DK won. I could put in a 5-leg parlay on DK, and I can't get 60 cents off. Their website looks worse than it did 5 years. Yeah, I like the old design better. And they haven't put any money into it in years, and their server crashes 8-10 times a year, and everybody gets pissed. You know what's crazy? I picked 4 players, 2 hit a home run, but cashed out early and would have won $3,500. Ouch, on a $5 bet. Still sick about it. Ended up with $270. I mean, you can't go broke making money, so it's hard to get mad whenever you make money. But I get where you're coming from. Luckily, I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning and I was like, huh, that's a lot more money in my account than I remember. Let's roll through the rest of these comments and then we'll go through our teams here. Mike, always on point.
Yes,
I believe
always.
Adam's using the Red Badger power-ups
to get
the one. Yeah, I mean, he's gotten the one so many freaking times. First post being about fantasy NASCAR for you, Adam. Looks like you're profiting and can still be. Yeah, I will say Adam
I
is
can
more
still be correct.
in tune. You're more in tune with NASCAR than I'll ever be.
I mean, it's crazy that he's got me profiled correctly on that one. Mike, you're a smart man, sir. Smart man.
You're better at fantasy basketball and NASCAR. Everything else, I think I'm driving. Man, have I got some stories about parlays that died because of Matt Olson. I think Adam can attest to that. He's killed a few of mine over the years.
Going back to NASCAR real quick, though, Ben is actually the NASCAR wise man, or whatever you want to call him. He is the guy. He is NASCAR whisperer. So if you want to go get NASCAR info, it's Ben.
All right, Adam, you want to run through your routine real quick?
Let's go with it. Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashid Rice, George Pickens, DJ Moore, Javonte Williams. No, that's Jameson Williams. My bad. We were talking about that earlier. Jalen Warren, DK Metcalf, Jordan Addison, Kyle Monangai, Baker Mayfield, Travis Kelce, Keaton Mitchell, Cam Ward, Alvin Kamara. Is it Mike Washington or Malik Washington? I don't know which one it is. Yes. Tua, Pat Freiermuth, Alec Ironmaner, Austin Hooper, and Tez Johnson.
I'm going to give you a C minus.
Well, thank you, because I think maybe a D would be more appropriate for this one. I think C minus only because top half was good, and I have Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, you went a little heavy receiver, but Gibbs should bail you out. I went with Lamb, Kenneth Walker, Zay Flowers, Breece Hall, Trevion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. Excuse me. Portland Sutton, Alec Pierce, Jackson Dart, Bo Nix, Romeo Dobbs, Tyrone Tracy, Jalen Naylor, Jalen McMillan, Dalton Schultz, Gunnar Helm, Marshawn Lloyd, Justice Hill by accident, Evan Ingram, and Malachi Fields. I would say it's a very solid B minus. Answering Phil and Wright's question a little bit more from earlier, I think that's one thing I pride myself on is I might not love every one of my teams, but I try to draft solid and give myself a chance. So if I can construct my rosters correctly, I should be there at the end of the year.
Yep, I agree with that.
I think that's going to do it for today. I know I've struggled a lot. I appreciate all of you who have hung with us throughout my voice situation here. I didn't foresee this being a situation. Not sure if I'm getting sick, but not to waste any more of anybody's time with me breaking away trying to fix my voice. We'll go ahead and call it here. We will do some streams later on this week as well. I will schedule those on the channel for anybody interested. Go check us out over at breakingboardsdfs.com. If you're interested in the ranks, they are free. Check out the solver, BB code BB26, and get 20% off your first month of the Draft Assistant tool. Appreciate it, you all hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys in the next stream.